Hello, 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 and hello. Welcome back to All About Hair with Flair. So guys, on today's video, I have a new client here, and we're going to be doing a hair and scalp analysis on her hair. She is suffering from a little bit of hair loss, right? So we can take the scarf off. She has a little bit of hair loss, so what I'm going to do is look at her scalp under the scope to just see what's going on with her scalp. Is definitely alopecia, because anytime that there is some hair loss, that is what alopecia is. It just means hair loss, and that's that. But before we get started with this video, make sure you guys do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Tap the notification bell right next to it. Comment, share, and like this video. So this is what her hair is looking like on the top and then around the edges as well. And from what you were telling me, you said you were getting tight weaves and braids and stuff like that in your hair, right? Mm-hmm. And when did it start?
Probably 2016.
2016?
At least.
Okay. And it started around the edges or in the top also?
I think it was around the edges. I couldn't tell about the top because I wasn't doing my hair.
Right. So around the edges, when that started from doing your weaves and stuff like that, that's normally when the braids are too tight on your hair. It's called traction alopecia. And traction alopecia just means that the hair was being pulled too tight and then it just caused the hair loss. Now this top part, this is something, it looked like something different. That probably wouldn't be from braids or anything like that.
That's always just been stress.
It could be stress or hereditary. It's different types of alopecia. There's areata alopecia, which it could come from an autoimmune disease or something like that. Do you have any high blood pressure? Do you have any type of illness that may? Okay, so yeah, so all right, we're gonna look under the scope, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the porosity level of her actual hair before I look at her hair, her scalp underneath the scope. I'm gonna check the porosity, and the porosity just means the ability for your hair to absorb moisture. So the more porous your hair is, that is an indication of damage. If it has high porosity, that's damaged hair. If it has low to medium porosity, that's normal to healthy hair. So we're going to check the porosity of her hair. And the way we do that is it's two different ways you can do it. You can either test the porosity of her hair by taking a strand of hair and gliding your fingers up and down the hair strand. And if it feels smooth, that means it has low porosity. If it feels like really bubbly and rough, then that means that it has high porosity. So the smooth feeling could be an indication of medium porosity as well. But you definitely don't want to have it feeling like that roughness. So the other way to check your hair's porosity is to take a few strands of the hair and put it in some water. And if the hair sinks to the bottom of the cup or bowl or whatever it is that you're using, then that means that the hair has high porosity. If the hair floats to the top or stay in the middle, it has medium porosity or low porosity, which is not a bad thing. So when the hair has high porosity, you want to use products that's high in protein so that you can seal the gaps in that hair. When the hair is low in porosity, you want to use products that is like a moisturizer, hydration, that's going to give it moisture, because the hair is dry, it needs moisture. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a few strands of her hair. That's the porosity test that I'm going to do for her. So now I'm going to take these few strands of hair and put it inside of this bowl of water. And we're going to let that sit and see what it does. Now, when you first put the hair inside of the water, typically it'll sink straight to the bottom because that's when you first put it in and that's what it's going to do. But after it sits for a while, we'll see exactly what's happening because it'll either stay, if it stays down there for after about 5 or 10 minutes or whatever, then we know that that hair has high porosity, it's damaged, and the client needs protein. If it floats to the top, then we know that that hair is some healthy hair and the client will need hydration. And I would recommend that the client sit under the steamer for the hydration treatment. So we're going to go ahead and do her scalp analysis now. Okay, so this right here is my microscope that I'm now going to look at her scalp on it and take pictures so that I can have it for my records. And also, whenever she come back in about 3 months, I always recommend like every 3 months to come and take new pictures so that we can see the progress in the hair growth. So, like I said, this scope right here is what is going to take the picture of her scalp, and then in turn, the picture will go on the iPad in the files for my reference and for her reference when she comes back in about 3 months to take more pictures. So basically, this scope right here is not going to determine what type of alopecia she has. I can look at her scalp and see that she has alopecia. So the scope doesn't determine it. The scope just lets me see what's going on with her scalp, and then we can treat it going forward. So that's basically all that is. I could look at the edges and tell that because of, you know, the tight braids, that's what caused that. And the way that the top of her head looks, I could look at that and tell that that is a sign of the areata alopecia, which is an autoimmune problem. And what happens is the autoimmune, your immune system attacks your hair follicles and causes the hair to come out. And sometimes that could be caused by stress as well. So let's go ahead and look at the scalp. Okay, guys, so I checked the porosity of her hair, and it turns out that the floated to the top. That means she has low porosity hair, which means that she's going to need to get a hydration treatment because that cuticle layer of her hair is so tightly closed that it needs moisture. And the steamer is going to open that cuticle up and provide the moisture that that hair needs. So this is what it looks like in the bowl. See how the hair floated to the top? That is an indication that the hair has low porosity. And most people with natural hair do have low porosity hair. So now what I'm getting ready to do with her hair is give her a scalp prep treatment because of the buildup of sebum that's on her scalp. The scalp prep is going to help to dissolve that buildup of sebum that's on her scalp. So that's what we're going to do now. Let me let you guys see what the scalp prep looks like. This right here is the scalp prep. And what I would do is apply this to her scalp for about 10 minutes. Let it sit on her scalp for 10 minutes. And what it does is it dissolves the scalp sebum buildup. It helps aid in the penetration of hair loss products. And it provides a high concentration of hair strength and vitamins. Smooths dry and irritated scalp. So right here where it says it helps to aid the penetration of hair loss products. So if you're using any type of other hair loss products along with this, the product line is XTC. So if you're using any other product along with this scalp prep is going to help to make those other products penetrate into her scalp to then in turn get that scalp back healthy so that we can get some hair growing on her scalp. That's the most important thing right now, is to get the scalp healthy. So there was a whole part of this video that I thought I was recording, and turns out I was not recording it. I wanted to show you guys how her scalp looked under the scope, but that part of the video didn't even record, so you won't be able to see that. But anyway, right now what I'm doing is blow drying her hair so that I can put a few cornrows in it, because she's just going to wear her wig. Her scalp prep treatment is done. The hydration treatment is done. The next thing I'm going to do after the blow drying is apply some dry and itchy scalp hair grease onto her scalp by Design Essentials. And then once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and braid the hair down in a few cornrows. So this is the Dry and Itchy Scalp Shampoo by Design Essentials. I'm sorry, not shampoo, hair grease by Design Essentials. I'm going to apply this to her entire scalp. And once I'm done with that, like I said, I'll go ahead and do a few cornrows in her hair and make sure that the cornrows are not too tight, but just tight enough so that it can stay, and tight enough so that it can be neat. And I won't see this client for the scalp analysis again for 3 months, but she will come in between to get treatments on her scalp so that we can start the process of her having a healthy scalp, a clean scalp, and so that her hair can start to grow back. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was educational for you, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and I will see you guys on the next video.